Hello, everyone. A very good day to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us for MSP Essentials with Manage Engine. Whether you are listening to the webinar from your home, office, or from your place of convenience, I really appreciate your effort for making it to the webinar. Our agenda. Now, we have two speakers today. One is myself, Anupriya, and I will be handling AD Manager plus MSP. And my friend Shruti will handle PAM 360 MSP for you. So now here is the quick overview of what you're gonna talk today. I'll be giving you a small introduction about what Manage Engine is, about our vision and our offerings. And then we will head into our technical topics, and then we will have a live Q&A at the end of the session. Now, on the course of the session, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box. I will try to answer them. If not, we will answer them at the end of the session. Yeah. All right. So now here it is, a quick introduction about Manage Engine. Manage Engine is the IT management segment of Zoho Corporation, and Zoho Corporation was founded in 1996, and it is a privately held organization. So with the inception of a middleware manager, and then with Manage Engine began its journey in 2002. And then in 2005, Zoho was officially launched with its productivity and collaboration applications. I'm sure you would have heard about Zoho Mail, People, our set of productivity suite and all. And in 2021, we introduced QNTRL, which is a business process automation platform, which is essentially helpful for a lot of industries to automate their day-to-day business processes. And again, in 2021, we introduced Trainer Central, which we are starting to use it to train our partners and customers, host our help documents and learning materials online. Yeah. So this is a quick introduction about what all the divisions available under Zoho Corporation. Yeah. And about Manage Engine, we've been here for more than 20 years now with around 120 applications. And our presence is at about 190 countries with about 280 organizations and around 5,000 employees leveraging our solutions. So yes, we've been around for 20 years and we have around 120 plus products. Mention about any of the business problems you have in your network architecture or cybersecurity, we have a solution for every single problem the organizations need. Yes, so why MSP? Though we began with providing solutions like cybersecurity or ITSM or ITOM solutions to organizations, we felt there is a need for MSPs to cater to the IT service providers. So now we have all our major products within Manage Engine has an MSP edition. So if you had attended our previous session, you would have learned about other products, but today we are going to focus about two other major products of Manage Engine. Yeah. So yes. So what are the products? So the first products we are going to discuss about is a professional services automation software, which is AD Manager plus MSP. And another product is PAM 360 MSP. Both these products cater to identity and access management segment. All right. So today's topic is about simplifying access management for service providers. So as I told before, we'll be discussing about AD Manager plus MSP and PAM 360 MSP. So I am Anupriya, and I'm going to talk about AD Manager plus MSP, and I'm going to focus about identity management, and Shruti will talk about access management, privileged access management to be exact. Yeah. All right. So now, with everyone, every single webinar topic you see online or every single topic that revolves in current scenario revolves around cybersecurity, AI, and a lot of recent upcoming work topics. But here I am still talking about identity management. So why I'm still talking about identity management instead of talking about how to secure your client's environment or how to help your clients improve their security posture or how to protect your client's organization from ransomware, phishing attack, and a lot of attacks. I am here still talking about identity management. Why? So the reason is, I personally believe that identity management is a proactive approach for cybersecurity. Because whenever you create identities, whenever you create a simple account in your client's organizations, an identities journey begins. A workforce identities journey begins. And what all the methods you use and how what all the security measures you impose and how efficiently you handle them without making errors actually plays a real important role in securing your client's organization. So that is why I'm going to talk about 4 important identity management best practices that will help you effectively manage your clients' organizations while also ensuring security in their organization. Yeah. So the product I'm going to talk about is AD Manager Plus MSP. It is an identity governance and administration solution. It started off as an AD management solution, but it went on to become an identity governance with an introduction of access reviews, risk assessment, M365 management, a lot of features. Now, AD Manager Plus is not an AD management solution, but it is an identity governance solution. So this is the solution that will help you to centralize management of identities across AD, Microsoft 365, and Exchange infrastructures. In addition to that, not only these 3 platforms, but if your clients use any enterprise applications like CRM, email, or any kind of enterprise applications, you can manage their identities centrally from this particular console. All right. So now how? How do you actually integrate your client's applications and what are the applications that you can integrate so that you can easily manage the identities from one place? So the first topic we're going to discuss is automated and orchestrated actions across clients' hybrid IT infrastructure. So apart from the AD and Azure AD part, I'm going to show you how to manage the identities of your clients across other applications as well. And also we are going to automate it. Not only we are going to integrate your client's infrastructure within AD Manager Plus, but we are also going to automate the entire process. Now for this session, I'm not going to show you the buttons and drop downs and everything that is available in the product, but I'm going to talk about the use cases that the product will help you solve. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box. My panel will answer. If not, I will answer you at the end of the session. Yes. Now a quick question. So which is the most automated AD or Microsoft 365 management task in your environment? So do you have, your clients will come up with a lot of requirements. You are the guys who work closely with the clients because you have your ears closer to the ground. We are just marketers and developers. We develop the product and we are good to go, but you talk to them on a day-to-day basis. Do you have a list or any particular area of M365 task that they actually automate? For example, unlocking accounts, idle accounts, cleaning up idle accounts, user account creation, password resets. Yes, there are a lot of AD and MFA, even enabling MFA. I have thrown some hints at the bottom. Okay. So these are some AD and Microsoft 365 tasks our customers tell us that they would like to automate. Yeah. And one more question. Do your clients come up with any HCM or ITSM or CRM apps or any kind of enterprise app? An enterprise app is any kind of app. It can be a productivity app, email app, chat application, note-making application, any kind of applications. So do they also want to manage their identities across those platforms? So I have also given some hints at the bottom. Yes, I have taken advantage. We have Managed Engine Service Desk Plus, which is our ITSM tool, Zoho People. So any organization does not end with the usage of a directory, but they will also be having a lot of applications across various platforms. It can be on-prem or cloud or any kind of applications to which they need to manage access. So now I'm going to provide you a solution like how you can automate the mostly automated AD and Microsoft 365 management task across all the applications they have in their premise. Yeah. So the first feature we're going to talk about is integration. So AD Manager Plus MSP has an integration feature where you can integrate any kind of enterprise application within your setup. Okay, so if you're going to talk about a client's environment, what we actually discuss is whether they're on-prem or whether they're cloud or whether they are hybrid. That's it, right? From now on, you can also collect information on what all the applications they use in their premise. And on the screen, I have shown you a list of applications that can be integrated, but that is not an exhaustive list. Yeah. So that is not an exhaustive list. This is just a sample list of applications that can be integrated with AD Manager plus MSP. So the question you're going to ask your clients is, does your application support REST API or SOAP API? So I've added a pointer at the end of the image. So if your client's application supports REST API or SOAP API, it can definitely be integrated with AD Manager plus MSP. Okay. So why should you integrate your client's applications here? Yes. So this is one classic example of AD Manager Plus and HCM app integration. So this is just one example. So coming to automation, one of the mostly automated process in any IT environment or given any environment across any industry is user onboarding and offboarding. Say, for example, if your client has an HCM application, how an identity creation is handled without this integration. Let's forget about this integration for a moment. Okay, so if your client has an HCM app like ADP, Zoho People, Workday, Bamboo HR, or any of these applications, so how it will be handled is the HR team will create the accounts in the HCM application, human resource application, and the IT admin or those applications will be forwarded to you guys, and you will take care of the backend like AD account creation, distribution account creation, or any other backend process will be identity management process will be taken care of you. Yeah. So, but with this integration, what you can do is you can create an automation flow within AD Manager plus MSP. Okay. So you can create a flow saying, hey, if any account is being created in the HCM app of the client's environment, I want those accounts to be automatically created in AD, Microsoft 365. I want licenses to be assigned. I want distribution groups to be created. What are all the processes that need to be followed using while creating a user account or user onboarding can be automated. Okay. So I will also show you a very detailed diagram of what user onboarding means. And I will also show you before that how an ITSM integration works. Okay. In addition to HCM, there is also another kind of process followed by most of the clients, which is using a ticketing tool, using Service Desk Plus or Service Desk or ServiceNow or any kind of ticketing tools. The technician will submit a ticket saying, hey, I want to create an account in this particular environment and I want you to take care of it. Okay. Or they will even submit tickets for modifying user accounts or license assignment, any trivial task. So what you can do is you can ask the clients to integrate their ITSM tool with AD Manager Plus setup, and you can automate the entire process. Yeah. So this is how the integration works. So whenever the technician submits a ticket in the service desk or any kind of ticketing tool, the entire process, be it password reset, account unlock, account creation, account deletion, all the account management process will be automated in AD, Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, Exchange, or any enterprise applications in that case. Yeah. All right. So this is a very detailed diagram of automating employee onboarding. All you have to do is in AD Manager plus MSP, set up a flow saying what all the actions that must be taken care of when someone creates a user account. Okay. So when someone creates a user account in AD, all these actions like creating accounts in Microsoft 365, creating Exchange mailbox, granting access to enterprise applications, and sending a welcome email. Everything else will be automated. You don't have to worry about performing account creation and ensuring that they get access to enterprise application on time. So you don't have to worry about it at all. All you have to do is sit and create a plan, learn the client's environment, what all the applications they have, integrated with AD Manager plus MSP, set up a flow within the product, and you're good to go. Okay, so the same goes for offboarding as well. So when someone, if they want to delete a user account, you just have to delete it using AD Manager plus MSP. And all these processes like removing AD and M365 accounts, exchange, deleting mailboxes, deleting group memberships, everything else will be taken care of by the product automatically. You don't have to worry about it. You can either schedule these actions to happen at particular intervals, or you can even create event triggered automation. So whenever this particular action happens, all these flow of action will be automatically executed by the product. Yeah. So I have now covered integration part. Let me just quickly go to my next feature. Okay, so now I showed you how to automatically create accounts in your client's environment and provide them access to a lot of enterprise applications and all. Now, since everything is automated, you need something to monitor those actions. Yeah. So we have dedicated set of reports that actually send you notifications or give you reports on saying what all the automations that are being executed, what all the automatic actions we took, what are the status of those actions, whether they are being successfully executed or what there's a failure, what is the reason for the failure. All these actions will be documented within the product. We have very detailed reports, so you don't have to worry about documenting, maintaining a separate set of documents for these. Yeah, so all you have to do is just click on those reports, export it, and send it to your clients for audit. All right, so now the next feature is identity risk assessment for Active Directory and Microsoft 365. So this is one of the major feature of identity governance. Now, how are you going to monitor your client's security posture? Okay, so identity, I showed you how to securely and efficiently provision them. Now you're going to monitor them. Again, you don't have to configure anything. Once you provide your AD domain and Microsoft 365 tenant within the product, you will see this particular dashboard for every single client. Okay, so you can see the list of inactive users, disabled users, and all the threat indicators present in any client's environment. Yeah, so it shows the risk of threat indicators, the severity of those threat indicators, and risk exposure, like how many number of objects in the client's environment will be affected by this particular threat indicator. For example, there are users with unchanged passwords in my environment and the severity is high, 100%, and 100% of the object, which means all the objects within my premise will be affected by this particular threat indicator. Yeah. So now what are we going to do? Can we take any remediation action? If yes, what are all the actions I can take? Yeah. So if you're worried about it, all you have to do is you just have to click on the threat indicator and you will see this detailed report on what does the threat indicator mean, what is the likelihood of compromise, and what are the remediation measures you should take. So you should enforce a strong password policy. You should implement MFA or perform regular audits in your organizations. Or can you see it over here? Over the report, you have a set of management actions. You can simply select all these users with unchanged passwords and reset their password immediately. So similarly, you can do the actions for Microsoft 365 objects as well. So for Active Directory and Microsoft 365, we have separate dashboards. It shows you the list of threat indicators. All you have to do is click on those threat indicators, read about the remediation measures, and take the action right from the report without having to change into tabs or products. No more products, no more tabs. Just take the action right from here, and you can immediately see the risk score going low. So your risk score must be as low as possible. The client's risk score must be as low as possible, which means the risk exposure is very low. Yeah. So currently we have this risk assessment for AD and Microsoft 365, and we're also working on to add the same risk assessment for enterprise applications as well. For example, if your client has SAP integrated with their IAM solution, which is AD Manager plus MSP, you will see a dashboard for that application as well. So what all the threat indicators present in that particular application, what all the actions you should take. So we are currently expanding. First, we will add Google Workspace and other directory services. And after that, we'll be adding our enterprise applications as well. So this is risk assessment for you guys, identity risk assessment. And then, yes, now we have automated our identity provisioning and deprovisioning part. We have a dashboard to monitor the health status. Now, wouldn't that be great if you could delegate some of those actions to other technicians so that you can take the load off you? So with AD Manager plus MSP, what you can do is you can add help desk technicians to your product so that you can delegate some of the actions to other technicians. Yeah. So for example, if you want to just delegate the AD account creation alone to another technician, you can do that. Or you just want to delegate the Microsoft 365 management alone to another technician. Yes, you can do that. So with this particular product, you can create your very own custom help desk role. So can you see here? So under AD management, we have lots of segments: user management, computer management, group management, and every single management category, we have lots of tasks. So you can select as many tasks as you want, and you can even regulate it attribute wise. For example, if you want to reset password, if I click on it, you can choose what all the ways by which they can reset. I mean, the technician can reset. Do you want to allow the technician to type their own password, or do you want to allow the technician to use an authenticator, so on and so forth? So like that, you can granularly create roles for your help desk technicians and delegate it to them. We have dedicated set of audit reports for the technicians alone, so that you as an admin can monitor what all the actions the technicians are taking on the client's environment using AD Manager Plus setup. Yeah. So this is delegation. And then we have auditing and compliance. Yes. So what is it? Identity management without compliance. We have lots of compliance, country-wise, state-wise, region-wise. We have lots of compliance mandates to help the clients. So what does AD Manager plus MSP have for that? So we have been grouping our reports under a particular set of compliance mandates, and we are continuously adding a lot of segments to our product. Okay, so for example, you can see for SOX, what all the reports you need, what all the reports you need to maintain for your client, and so on and so forth. And this is not an exhaustive list. If you need any particular report as per your client's requirement, what you can do is just click on any of these reports, apply filters, and create your very own report based on your client's requirements. For example, if they want a set of report based on users location, geolocation, all you have to do is just generate this particular all users report, apply a filter based on location, and save that condition as a new report. Okay, so we can also leverage. There are around 200 plus built-in reports with an AD Manager plus MSP. And if you're unable to use, or if you couldn't find the report of your choice or client's requirement, you can always create your very own reports. You don't have to know PowerShell scripts or any kind of scripting for that case. You just have to use our UI to apply some filters. That's about it. Yeah. So that's it from me. That's it from AD Manager plus MSP. I've covered 4 major features of AD Manager plus MSP that will help you in your client's identity management journey. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the Q&A box. I will try to answer them now, or at the end of the session, I'll answer you live if it needs more explanation. Yeah. So now over to Shruti, and she will talk about privileged access management on PAM 360. Over to you, Shruti.
Hey everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening based on where you are currently located. Thank you, Anupriya. That was indeed a very insightful session, how you can get started with access management for service providers. I'm sure you would have had great insights from her session too. And that was where we took our first step to getting started with access management for you as service providers. But there's another interesting side to this story, and that is where you as service providers are going to find your client environments to be filled with multiple workflows and workloads, right? As Anupriya rightly said, You are the ones who are going to interact with your clients on an everyday basis, get to know the challenges that are happening within their enterprise, understand your own challenges when it comes to managing multiple clients at a single go. And here is where we come with how you can simplify this entire process on your side and make it a much more simpler attempt. Right. So your client environments are going to be filled with all of these workloads and workflows. And what is the best part? These workflows are not going to be independent. They are definitely going to be interacting with each other. And at any point of time, this interaction is required for your business to go on uninterrupted, right? So when we understand that these workflows are not going to be independent and they require constant interaction with each other, this interaction is going to be facilitated by sensitive identities. Yeah. In the session that was presented by Anupriya, she was talking about how you can manage, she was talking about identity governance. And that is more of a broader concept where you are going to manage access to your enterprise as a whole, manage access to each and every part of the enterprise, know who has access to what, and all that stuff. But now in this session, we are going to delve further to understand what happens when there are critical processes or when there are more privileged processes that require a more elevated and a more refined access for users. Yeah, so that is where the role of sensitive or privileged identities come into play. And when I say privileged identities, they can be anything ranging from your passwords, the certificates that are very important for users to trust your organization, for clients to understand that you're providing a safe space for their information to reside. It can be keys, it can be service accounts that are important for all the crucial services that are a part of your enterprise, your admin accounts that hold elevated permissions to various applications and various servers and various other processes within your enterprise. And finally, it could also be secrets that are a part of your development processes, right? Now, these identities are going to facilitate the interaction between your workflows, right? And now, this brings me to one important question. You as service providers are going to be very much concerned about prompt service delivery for your clients, right? On the other hand, alongside this, do you also ensure that this service delivery is accompanied by securing the access pathways for your client organizations? And this is my question to you. And as you keep thinking, we'll also take a look at the challenges that are faced by service providers on an everyday basis. Yeah, as we just saw in the previous session, your client environments are going to host a lot of processes given at any point of the day, right? And you as service providers are going to face some of the challenges like having a very complex client environment. You might have a lot of processes running at a single point of time. It might be very difficult for you to manage access to these processes. And the most important of them is to understand who has access to what and at what levels, at what point of time. Yeah, so this we call the access provisioning and deprovisioning. And when you don't have tabs on when you're providing access to users and when you have to deprovision access to users or any of your client environments, it's going to be very tedious because you do not when these privileges are going to be exposed deliberately or inadvertently, it's going to cost the entire client organization in terms of both reputation and revenue, in turn reflecting the same on your organization as well. Yeah. And finally, the other major challenge that service providers face is the lack of visibility over this access security. So as I just mentioned, you will not be able to have tabs on what is happening within each client environment, considering you have multiple client environments to manage. And all of these put together should give you a complete reporting system wherein you'll be able to comply with various industry regulations, understand how effectively you're complying with these regulations and meet your clients' requirements. So these important 4 challenges is what we will be taking a look at today, and we'll also be addressing them with the help of privileged access management. Yeah, and this is the only major line that we'll be targeting for today. How do you ensure seamless service delivery while also not compromising on security? This is going to be possible with the help of privileged access management. And why? Because it's going to give your identities, your privileged identities, holistic protection. I would like to reiterate the fact that privileged identities are going to be one step further than your other identities that are a part of your organization, and this require a more granular and refined access whenever your clients are trying to access them. So privileged access management is going to be that bridge for you when you want to maintain the balance between access security and operational efficiency. By implementing a privileged access management solution for your client environments, you can ensure that they have a centralized point of access to all their resources. You can keep tabs on who has access to what on based on their roles and privileges. Ensure that you give them proper access and revoke the access in particular when they no longer require it for as part of their role or as part of their privilege. Yeah, and then achieve compliance with a lot of industry regulations in the form of by creating or by deriving reports that are available in the solution. And finally, this is going to simplify access management. And this brings us back to the title of today's webinar, where we've simplified all of the process for you service providers and ensured that you deliver your services in a prompt fashion without compromising on security. Yeah, so this is now going to take us to understanding these controls in real time. And here is how we do it the Manage Engine way. So Manage Engine gives you Manage Engine PAM 360. That is our privileged access management solution for managed service providers. And here is one use case that will take us through the entire product, and I'll give you a walkthrough of how all of these controls work in real time. So let's consider Sally to be an MSP administrator. So she's part of the service provider organization, and she's also the administrator, or you can also call her an account manager. So Sally is going to have multiple responsibilities as part of her job role, and most of them include keeping tabs on access to privileged accounts, privileged resources, and how often or users are going to access them, and what level of access will all of the users of the client environment require. Yeah, so this seems like a lot to do, right? And with a lot of other priority tasks in her list, she is found to spend most of her time in manually configuring these access permissions for her client environments. Considering the fact that Sally has a huge client base to manage and she has a lot of other stuff to do, this is going to definitely affect her productivity. And here is where we are set to find the answer to how you can simplify this entire access management process for Sally. So on your right on the screen, you'll be able to see how effectively you can achieve this with the help of a quick workflow. So Sally is the MSP administrator here. And let's say Sally is provided with Manage Engine's PAM MSP solution. That's going to be PAM 360 MSP. So this PAM solution will help Sally to grant a more granular access to their client infrastructure. And for one client infrastructure, it will be only one account manager who will be associated. And with the help of that, they'll be able to grant and revoke, she'll be able to grant and revoke access permissions to their client users. With the help of this access, they'll be able to have a one-click passwordless access to all the privileged resources. So please take note of this. It's going to be a passwordless access. And this is one major pain point that a privileged access management solution will address. So you no longer need to have your passwords noted down in a piece of paper or just being shared through a text where there are a lot of chances for these passwords to be exposed, and especially when these are going to be the credentials of critical processes within your enterprise or within the client's environment, exposing them is going to cost a lot, right? So this passwordless access is going to be enabled for all the users trying to access the privileged resources. And it could be to any of the following resources. It could be an RDP connection, an SSH-based resource, a VNC, or even an SQL based connection that will be initiated based on the type of resources that are a part of your client's environments. And finally, when the user of the client environment is done accessing the particular privileged resource, access permissions will automatically be revoked based on the settings that you implement. So the just-in-time access is going to allow you to set permissions for your users, ensure that these are going to be revoked after a stipulated period, and the user will no longer have access to those particular resources, and all your credentials and privileged information are going to reside safely inside all the resources and inside your client infrastructure. And finally, all of these processes that have happened will be completely and duly recorded using PAM 360 MSP's recording and auditing capabilities. And here is the full stack PAM solution that we offer for service providers. And what this will help you do is achieve privileged account governance, where you can onboard your client resources, create groups for them, ensure that the right person has access to the right type of resources at the right point of time, ensure that they have access to the privileged sessions with just bare minimum permissions, and proper revocation mechanisms can be implemented to ensure that they no longer have access after their designated job is completed. And as I just mentioned, all of these actions performed on the client resources will be duly recorded, and it will be provided to you in the form of reports. And here is a quick look at how you can achieve this in real time. So I'll not take much of your time. Give me just 10 minutes to walk you through how you can achieve secure access management to your client environment. So I've logged into PAM 360 MSP right now. And here is the dashboard that you can see. And this is how, this is pretty much a demo setup. I'll just be showing you how you can access various controls here. For more information, you can definitely reach out to us, and we'll be very happy to connect with you to, give you a demo and understand what kind of challenges you have apart from what we've discussed today. Yeah, so this dashboard is going to have multiple panels here, and one of them is the admin panel. And once you just scroll down, you'll be able to see this option called organizations. So privileged access management, when you want to implement it for your client organizations, you'll need to first add all your organizations here. As you can see, you'll be able to add your organization with with various specifications here. You can provide the name of your organization, that is the client organization, and you can select an account manager. So I'll come to this, but let me show you the other fields that you can fill here. So all of these, based on your requirements, you can go ahead and fill them. And under the organizations tab, by default, you will have the MSP org present, and this MSP org is going to be your organization that's going to manage multiple client environments. Yeah. So PAM 360 MSP as of now can manage about 900 client environments, and it will help you seamlessly manage access to all of these client environments. So as I mentioned about the users, so there's another users tab that's available on your left pane, wherein you can add your respective user here. You can generate a password for this particular user, and then you can click on save. Yeah. Another important point here is that For every client organization, you'll only be able to have one account manager. So despite the various roles that PAM 360 MSP is going to offer, the account manager is going to be the role that you'll have to take note of to ensure that the privileges or access permissions to various client environments are going to be managed. So I've created a lot of user roles here. And once that's done, you can move to the user actions tab that you can see near your mail ID. And here you have an option to manage organization access. Yeah. And here is where you will be able to see the list of organizations on your left. And from here, you can grant access to as many number of, you can grant access for your organization, for your account manager here. So this user will have access only to Manage Engine org right now. And here, as you can see, the approval request for this particular user will be sent to another user. So at any point of time, it's important that you have a minimum of 2 to 3 privileged users within your PAM 360 MSP to ensure that one is always present to approve access to the other user. So once you do this, the access request will be available here as a notification. And once the access is completely approved, all the users will be able to access all the client resources. So apart from adding users, you can also add user groups where you just mention the name of the group, provide a description, and you'll be able to add various users here. So the reason why you can add a user group, or why I'm mentioning about user groups here, is that, say, when you have a lot of client environments to manage, it'll be difficult, or it'll be more tedious for you to, reflect each of the settings manually for each of the organizations. So that is where PAM 360 MSP will give you this option to replicate all the settings across various client organizations. So under the admin tab, you'll be able to see this option, replicate settings across client organizations. And here you'll have multiple options for you to choose. So when you have user groups to be available across all client organizations, that will be possible here. Or let's say when you want to replicate the password policy for all your client organization, that will also be possible. And not just your client organization, managing your client organization, you can also carry out password resets for your organizations. Ensure that at any point of time, the right user is having the right access to the resources at right point of time. Yeah, so once you perform all of these operations, the audits and reports tab are going to be very useful in identifying the kind of actions performed and ensure that you comply with various industry regulations. So for that, we move to the reports tab here, and you have multiple reports ranging from reports for passwords exclusively available for users, or any of the custom reports in case you want to create custom reports based on your very much specific to your organization's requirements or your client's organization. You can go with creating a custom report here, and you also have other compliance reports here. For example, you have the reports for PCI DSS. You can also take note of all other reports that are available here. And you also have query reports that are available for your client environments. So this was about the reports. And when you move to the audit tab, you'll be able to keep tabs on what exactly happened within a privileged session, along with the timestamp provided here. Yeah, so this is going to give you a complete view, rather a bird's eye view on what has happened within your client environment. And it will also help you stay aware of misconfigurations that arise, or any remediation that you need to carry out when there are deviations that are happening from what the usual workflow of your organization is going to be. Yeah, so now that brings us to a quick recap of what we've seen in this session. Anupriya had started off this session by walking us through the importance of identity governance with the help of the products available in Manage Engine. And then we moved on to addressing what challenges service providers face when it comes to managing access to all their client environments. We've also understood how important it is for you as service providers to bridge the major gap between access security and operational efficiency. So we were able to see how Manage Engine's products, AD, uh, Active Directory, MSP, and Microsoft 365 related controls can be implemented. And we've also taken a look at how you can implement secure access management with the help of PAM 360 MSP. And finally, we've taken a look at various use cases that will help you in managing access provisioning and access management for your service, for you as service providers. And this, on the whole, is going to give you a very, very simplified access management experience when it comes to you managing your client environments. And it's going to be a more hassle-free process and lets you focus on other priority tasks without having to worry on how secure your client environments are going to be. So with that said, we come to the end of today's session. So please feel free to drop in your questions in the Q&A panel. We'll be very happy to take them up and answer them for you. You can also reach out to us after this session if you have any other questions. We'll be very happy to give you a personalized demo for these products. Yeah. Wait for a couple of more minutes. Please drop in your questions if you have any. On your Q&A panel, you'll be able to see a message that asks for your interest in a personalized demo. So reply with a yes if you want the demo for a particular module, or if you want an entire overview of all the modules, you can go for an MEMSP overview. Based on your requirements, please feel free to post them in the Q&A panel, and we'll be very happy to assist you with your requirements. We also have a LinkedIn page where we'll be posting regular updates very much specific to MSP products. So you can also take a look at that and keep following us there too.
So yes, thank you so much for everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us till the end of the presentations. We will see you again in another set of webinar series. Thank you. You all have a good day.